Nostalgia. Everybody has it, everybody experiences it, whether it's through movies, TV shows, fashion, technology, whatever it may be, everybody has that nostalgia to them, whether it's through the mind, the body, the soul, their past. Nobody can get rid of that nostalgic feeling that they've experienced in their past, and nobody ever will. Until you get the people that rock an iPhone 5, an iPhone 7, any iPhone before the iPhone 10, and then you have people that bite the swag of A$AP Rocky and Lil B from 2010s, basically just biting the whole 2010 scene as a whole, and then calling it an aesthetic. And this goes down a deep rabbit hole because, well, obviously everybody wants to be different. No one wants to be like the next person or this person or every other fashion motherfucker there is nowadays, you know? Baggy jeans, you know, oversized shirt, a tie, jacket, you get the standard of today's fashion. But when you steal something else from a decade ago and then you bring it into 2025, of course you're gonna be different. Everyone's gonna look at you like you're a messiah or something. So anything for attention and likes, I guess. But then there's the people that actually care and put thought into their outfits or their aesthetic overall, because, well, obviously, everyone wants to stand out in a way, everybody wants to stand out. But the people that actually do it right and actually care and actually put creativity into it, they're valid, they're cool. But like, what I'm talking about is specifically those that, get stuff from back then, bring it into now, and now they're considered different or quirky or whatever term they want to use because, well, they want to fit into that standout, I'm different this, I'm different that aesthetic so bad, in which people will see right through them. Like, we know what you are, bro. We know exactly what you are. And another thing with this whole nostalgia gimmick is paying homage, and specifically in the underground, underground music, paying homage is a very, very big thing, It's so big that, well, nearly everyone does it, because, well, obviously you would think that these artists would have the creativity to make their artworks or to, create original music, in which, they do. But then you have those ones that pay homage, not once, not twice, but every single time. And I'm not here to disrespect any underground artists or any of that, but it gets to a point where you're seeing the homage stuff every single time, and it's like, we know what you're trying to do, we know your gimmick, like, we can see right through it. And obviously there are those that, pay homage in a respectful way and actually mean it, but then, we see the ones that actually just use it for the attention, the likes, the sales they want to get for their album, in which they try and use that homage because of the art cover. And I just think that just kills the creativity, and it just adds to the nostalgia gimmick as well. Because it's like, what happened to just thinking with your mind and being creative? Like, what happened? Like, I thought that's what made people unique and what made people who they are, and stamped it themselves as like, oh, this person's actually got a personality, they actually got an image to them, and they're not trying to be someone else. And I just think we're just losing that. We are really losing that. And I just feel like people are just losing themselves, essentially. And when you lose yourself, you lose your self-identity, your self-recognition, just who you were before, who you resonated with. And then you fall into the trap of nostalgia bait, because you're trying to appeal to the mass audience or specific space that you're in. And by the way, movies and TV shows have always been doing the nostalgia gimmick as well. Like, for example, reboots of old movies and classics. And it just tries to appeal to that audience that grew up on, what they love. But 99% of the time, the reboots are like trash. And I think people go back to this whole nostalgia thing is because, well, nostalgia just feels good. It's like that dopamine rush. Like when you find an old toy or just an old object that you used to like fond over when you were a little kid. It's like that, like, wow, what a time type thing. And I think people have brought that into 2025 or the future and just kind of made it their whole brand. like just rebranded it and made it their whole aesthetic. Instead of kind of just letting go, like you can just be nostalgic without trying to force it, you know what I mean? And even though I have said that you need to be original and that you can't just copy what someone else did, we're not always original. People aren't original, if you know what I mean. Like, we're all inspired by something. That's why we create our work. That's why we put art into our work. Like, we're inspired by something. No matter how big or little it is, we're always going to be inspired by something we see. And it's like, that's where it comes in of no one's original. No one is actually original. Because we're always seeing stuff that inspires us to do our own thing. Unless you're egotistical and that you can create something so original that no one in the history of Earth has never done before. But that's why there's confidence, right? So you do you. I ain't hating. And another thing that came to my mind is that when something original comes out, it's always overshadowed by something that's, as considered nostalgia baiting, or something that's been happening from the past and then it's brought into the present. Because it's like, people like to recycle what they've already seen and just consume without giving anything else a try. Because it's like they don't want to be looked at as weird or whatever. And it could be anything, from movies, music, TV shows, or just certain objects, fashion. It doesn't matter. It's like people are just so scared of not being accepted by society. And when this new thing comes out, they're so scared of not trying to look weird or trying to look different. And it's like, that's what breaks out of that cycle, that consumerism cycle. You gotta try something new. That's how you stand out, basically. That's how you become different. But I guess that's kind of just an internal thing, maybe. And this is just my opinion on the whole nostalgia baiting, nostalgia gimmick thing going on. Because obviously nostalgia isn't bad. It's not bad at all. It's just how people use it. It's how people just portray it. Like, they just use it for views and attention and clicks for all the wrong reasons. And that's not really the way to go. It's obviously for its meaning. It's art. That nostalgic feeling that you had when you were a kid, seeing it again, whatever it is. But unfortunately, we live in a day and age where you need the views, the clicks, and whatever to just get that quick attention and that quick virality. But hey, that's just me though.